KATC Weather Lab. Here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, the title of this weathercast could be, it's that time of year again. We're talking high heat. We're also talking about the tropics, and it's only May. Doesn't give us any kind of feel of how it's going to go for the rest of the year, but the heat is on and we got a little action going in the tropics. So let's take a look at the big picture. In fact, we do have big storms off to the north of us as well. Pretty big upper level low over here buried in the Rockies continues to eject upper level disturbances, and that's igniting storms across the nation's midsection. We're looking at 18,000 feet though, upper level pattern right here over Florida, that low, and generally a very dry flow from the north coming down between that low and that high in the upper parts of the atmosphere. And this evening, severe thunderstorms from Oklahoma up into southeastern Kansas. We do have a couple of tornado warnings going right now for extreme southern Kansas. So unfortunately, no help from rainfall from our friends to the north, but we don't want the severe weather. But we did have a few widely scattered afternoon storms. We're so hot for this time of year that a few showers popped up, verifying a 5 or 10% type of day. Baton Rouge got a big soaking during the course of this evening, and then activity as it moved in the basin pretty much fell apart, and we do have a few echoes showing up locally, but not a whole lot. A couple of other sporadic showers, but most of us high and dry, and that's the way it's going to go, 10% over the next couple of days. Here's the big picture. You can see all the storms erupting off to the north in our area of low pressure, very broad and very strung out in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. It's not doing much and probably won't do anything other than produce locally heavy rainfall with some big storms across Florida today, some big ones going on right now in South Florida, and the Hurricane Center kind of lowered their expectations on any kind of subtropical development. It wouldn't be tropical, it would be a subtropical system. We're not expecting that, and no local impacts other than we're hoping some of this moisture squirts westward and maybe adds to our rain chances later this week, but right now not going much higher than 20% for Thursday. Here's the water temperatures. I have everything shaded 80 and above, so temperatures are marginal, actually too cool, I think, for any kind of tropical development. And then we go along the Louisiana coast. From the Florida beaches to the Louisiana coastline, temperatures in the mid-80s. These are readings earlier today. They've been as high as 87 or 88 degrees, and then you go way out into the Gulf of Mexico, starting to warm up here, and then you get into the northwestern Caribbean, some pretty warm water there. Keep an eye on that because we'll show you the long-range model projection in just a bit. First off, though, locally, we're going to stay warm overnight tonight. Temperatures in the lower 70s for tomorrow morning. Mostly sunny skies, temperatures reaching the lower 90s for lunchtime. That heat index getting into the upper 90s, and that means maybe 100 in a few spots. The heat index, not temperature, and then maybe an isolated shower or two developing late tomorrow afternoon, early tomorrow evening, kind of like what we saw today, but rain chances again no higher than about 10%. That area low pressure slowly inching toward Florida, keeping the wet weather mostly on the eastern side of this system. We stay on the dry northwesterly side with that high pressure ridge and west to northwest winds. That means we could be even hotter come Wednesday and Thursday. So here's the moisture content per the European model. Notice the blue, shades of blue are drier, shades of yellow and orange wetter, and it stays wet in the eastern Gulf of Mexico through Florida, and then it doesn't do much around our part of the world. And notice the moisture conduit continues across Florida, and then even deeper tropical moisture developing in about a week to 10 days. So we'll be watching the Northwest Caribbean even after this week low goes inland later this week. Lower 70s tonight, tomorrow back into the mid-90s, that heat index up there in the upper 90s, and then tomorrow night even milder, low to mid-70s, and back into the solid mid-90s with the heat indices in the upper 90s as we go through Wednesday and Thursday. And yeah, it's that time of year. That's the title of the talk. Here we go, your heat index here near 100 degrees from noon to about 5 or 6 p.m. for sure. So warm evening ahead overall, clear skies, maybe a few patches of fog late. 94 the high tomorrow, inching ever so closely to summer, which doesn't officially begin on the calendar for more than another month or so. And then as we go down the road, we'll see a slight increase in rain chances, but don't get your hopes up for any good soakings anytime soon. And look at those temperatures. That forecast could work all the way through about June. Overnight lows, though, would be a little bit warmer, but we're getting awfully close to the summer doldrums that'll be here for the next 4 months.